Hello and welcome to the Week 10 edition of the Wilkes Journal-Patriot's High School Football Rundown. I'm Assistant Sports Editor Brandon Marie.
I'm Sports Editor Zach Colburn.
And you've probably noticed that things look a little bit different in this week's breakdown. That's because we're coming to you from River Street Productions, a Wilkes communications company. In the last couple of weeks, we've been using game footage shot by Adam Foster and Ben Farmer, and this week we're sharing the entire production. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about football, and boy, do we have some fun things to talk about. The East Wilkes Cardinals went to Booneville on Friday night and won for the first time in program history to protect their undefeated record. East Wilkes has been playing varsity football since 1970, meaning that this is the 46th season of Cardinal football. East Wilkes had only beaten Starmount once before, and that was in 1971, and it was in Rhonda. But now the Cardinals have 2 wins against the Rams and are 9-0 on the year and 5-0 in the conference. East Wilkes led 14-13 at halftime thanks to a 32-yard pass from Bryce Vestal to Jared Wood and an 8-yard run from Cayman Bryan. In the second half, the Rams were threatening to take back the lead from the Cardinals, but Joe Logan picked off Starmount's Andrew Smithers in the end zone, and the Cardinals proceeded to march down the field and extend the lead to 8 points with another Cayman Bryan touchdown run. Bryan, who ran for a career-high 232 yards in the game, scored his 3rd touchdown early in the 4th quarter. The fullback now has more than 1,000 yards rushing on the season. Vestal went 3 for 7 in the game for 69 yards and a touchdown, in addition to running 11 times for 76 yards and a score. Andrew Nance had 7 carries for 25 yards and 1 catch for 10. The game was WXI's Game of the Week, so the Cardinals were on football Friday night with Brian Formica after the game.
And over in Moravian Falls, Wilkes Central kept their Mountain Valley Conference title hopes alive and well with a 48-14 win against Elkin on homecoming. A 27-point third quarter created more than enough cushion for the Eagles as it turned a one-possession halftime lead into an absolute rout. The second half surge marks a complete turnaround from Wilkes Central's Week 9 contest where they were outscored by Allegheny 22-6 in the second half. Quarterback Dalton Combs, Wilkes County's leading passer, led the way for the Eagles as he went 11 of 18 for 215 yards and 3 touchdowns. Combs became the first Wilkes County quarterback to eclipse 1,000 passing yards this season on Friday night, as he now has 1,193. Combs' first 2 touchdown passes of the night went to JoJo Horton. The first was a 59-yarder in the second quarter, and the second was an 8-yarder in the third. The final touchdown pass of the game came on a 50-yard strike to Madison Dunn. Running back Andrew Bynum scored 3 touchdowns for Eagles, giving him 26 on the year. Bynum ran for 196 yards on Friday night on just 19 carries. For the season, Bynum needs just 211 yards over the final 2 regular season games to break 2,000. Justin Parsons added a rushing touchdown for the Eagles in the 4th quarter. Wilkes Central's Josiah Ferguson led all receivers with 5 catches for 71 yards. Elkin's Will Altmuller was held to just 44 yards, while Alexander Duncan paced the Elks with 63 rushing yards.
In Week 9, the Blackhawks stopped a 3-game losing streak by beating Elkin on homecoming. Now, after Week 10, the Blackhawks are on a 2-game winning streak, having beaten Allegheny 41-6. The Trojans received the opening kickoff and marched down the field to score and take a 6-0 lead. And that's when West Wilkes running back Chandler Caudle took over. Caudle had touchdown runs, note touchdown runs, of 85, 93, 65, 8, and 55 yards in the game. When the dust settled, Caudle had racked up 353 yards on just 13 carries. That marks the 2nd most yards by a Wilkes County running back in a single game this season. Andrew Bynum had 361 yards in Week 2, but if fantasy football existed for the Mountain Valley Athletic Conference, Caudle's game on Friday night would be the best, as he had 5 touchdowns, whereas Bynum had just 4 in his big game. Also, Friday night pushed Caudle well over the 1,000-yard mark on the year, as he now has 1,132 yards and 18 touchdowns. Alex Ortiz scored the Blackhawks' final touchdown of the night with a 25-yard run in the 4th quarter.
And out in Hayes, the Ashe County Huskies scored touchdowns on their first 4 possessions and never looked back, besting North Wilkes 43-0 and rebounding from a tough loss to East Wilkes a week earlier. With the shutout, the Huskies improved to 5-4 overall and 4-1 the Mountain Valley Athletic Conference, 1 game behind unbeaten East Wilkes with just 2 games left on the Huskies' slate. North Wilkes, on the other hand, dropped to 1-8 overall and are still winless in the Mountain Valley Conference at 0-5. Ashe's aerial attack was on full display Friday, and the Huskies' first score came on a 34-yard pass down the left sideline from quarterback Connells to receiver Sam Hudler. and by the end of the first quarter, the score was already 21-0 after Ellis's 13-yard scramble. Next week, East Wilkes and Wilkes Central are set to square off in a monumental Mountain Valley Conference battle. The Cardinals are undefeated on the year, and the Eagles have just one blemish, a Week 7 loss to Ashe County. That game is set to kick off in Ronda at 7:30 on Friday. And West Wilkes will look to extend their winning streak to 3 games when they square off with North Wilkes. The Vikings, on the other hand, are looking to stop a 7-game losing streak. That contest is also set for 7:30 on Friday in Hayes.
As always, be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at WJP_sports. And this has been the Week 10 edition of the Wilkes Journal-Patriots High School Football Rundown. We'll see you on Friday night.